2 weeks after the primary for one race, just 2 votes make the difference. Good evening, I'm Anna Eshoo.
And I'm Dan Ashley. Thanks for joining us. This race is to represent thousands of people who live in the Bay Area.
But just a handful of votes will determine who advances to the general election in November.
We're talking about the seat held for decades by Congresswoman Anna Eshoo. She's retiring.
Former San Jose Mayor Sam Liccardo has secured a place in the general election. He leads the pack with 21% of the vote. The nail-biter is to determine his rival. Right now, only 2 votes put State Assemblyman Evan Lowe over Santa Clara County Supervisor Joe Simidian.
ABC 7 News South Bay reporter Zach Fuentes is live from San Jose tonight. Zach, how much longer do they expect this could take?
Could be weeks before we have official results, Dan. San Mateo and Santa Clara counties have until April 4th to finish final official results. Then the Secretary of State will certify the election April 12th. Right now, both counties are still processing ballots, and that's something that could, of course, leave the fate of this race uncertain. The race to replace retiring Congresswoman Anna Eshoo has become one of the most critical elections in the Bay Area.
We see a lot of the fears, criticisms, and questions around artificial intelligence. We've seen a lot of debates and discussions about moderating big tech in general and TikTok in particular. And I think this seat is going to be hugely influential in representing the views of big tech in Congress. So I think this is a very important election at a very important time for the industry.
But who will be in the November general election is still unknown. Candidate and former San Jose Mayor Sam Liccardo is in first place by a long shot, but who his opponent will be is unclear. Santa Clara County Supervisor Joe Simidian and State Assembly member Evan Lowe have been back and forth in the second place spot, at one point separated by as few as 2 votes. Still, votes are being processed.
It takes time to count, and it's a long process.
The congressional district falls within both San Mateo and Santa Clara counties. This week, both counties still had ballots to process. That includes challenge ballots, those where signatures still need to be verified.
They have time, 28 days after election day, to cure their ballots, and so we send them notification.
The registrar's office has to wait until the end of those 28 days to give voters the opportunity to fix their ballots.
It's a very close race, and I think that's a prime example of why it's so important for people to vote.
We reached out to Simidian Tuesday. He sent us a statement saying, sometimes it takes a while for democracy to work. This is one of those times. That means counting and verifying all of the votes, every single one of them. We also reached out to Lowe Tuesday and did not hear back. Last week, he sent a statement that said in part, to me, no matter the ultimate outcome, the closeness of this race shows that your vote truly matters. Your vote can have a real impact on who represents your community. Both candidates will have the opportunity to ask for a recount. They would have to pay for it. If it goes in their favor, they would get that money back.
I could absolutely see a recount with an election that's this close, especially if either of these campaigns have the money to do it, which it looks like they do.
Now, in its last report, San Mateo County still had an estimated 20 unprocessed ballots. Today, Santa Clara County said that they had 1,300 estimated unprocessed ballots. And together, those counties have 1,700 challenged ballots that voters still have a chance to fix. So this race really could come down to those ballots.
Hey, Zach, is there any indication how many voters are actually likely to respond to notifications that their ballots are challenged?
Yeah, that's something that actually the Santa Clara County Registrar's Office said. They said between 40 to 60% of people cure their ballots. In other words, go back to fix their signatures or whatever's wrong with it. So there's still a chance that those people might come in within that 28-day window to fix the ballot, and then their vote would count. So a lot of moving factors in this as more ballots continue to be processed, Alma.
All right, well.